Well, hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 4 of the 7-game series between the 1998 Yankees and the 1976 Cincinnati Reds using Strat Super Advanced. We are at Riverfront Stadium tonight. If you don't want to know the series result, haven't watched the video, please skip ahead for the next 10 seconds. But the Cincinnati Reds, with a big victory in Game 3, still trail the series 2-1. Tonight's pitching matchup is Andy Pettitte for the visiting Yankees and Pat Zachry, who is most notably known for being in the trade for Tom Seaver when he got traded from the Mets to the Reds. He will start for the Reds. Lineup will be the same that's been for the first 3 games for the Yankees, be a little different for the Reds. Chuck Knobloch leading off and playing second base, Derek Jeter batting second, playing shortstop, Paul O'Neill batting third and playing right field, Bernie Williams cleaning up and playing center field, Chili Davis batting fifth and the designated hitter, Tino Martinez batting sixth and playing first base, Scott Brocious batting seventh and playing third base, Jorge Posada batting eighth and catching, and Ricky Ledee batting ninth and playing left field with Pettitte on the mound. Defensively, behind Pat Zachry, catching is Johnny Bench, Tony Perez at first base, Joe Morgan at second base, Pete Rose at third base, and Davey Concepcion at shortstop. George Foster in left field, Cesar Geronimo in center field, and Ken Griffey Sr. in right field. All right, and here is Chuck Knobloch. 4 and a 9 against a righty, and that's a base hit to left field. So a good start for the Yankees. Zachary is a -1. Bench is a -3. So they are holding on Knobloch. He'd be a 1 to 11 if they wanted to try, and they will not try. And havoc roll for Zachary. Nothing on the 3. And here's Derek Jeter, the shortstop. 2 and a 4. And that ball is driven deep to center field, and it will go off the wall. Knobloch being held on puts him at a 16. It's assumed to go to center field. And with Geronimo's -5 arm, they will hold Knobloch at third. But Pat Zachry getting greeted not very kindly. And the Reds will play the infield in. Second, third, nobody out. They know can't allow that many runs. Nothing on the 6. Here's Paul O'Neill. 3 and a 5. And that's trouble. That goes way back, and that will hit up against the wall. Scoring from third is Knobloch. Scoring from second is Jeter. Into second with a double is O'Neill. And the Yankees quickly have a 2-0 lead. And boy, the Reds fans are getting awfully nervous. Here's Bernie Williams. Nothing on the 11. And here's Zachary's pitch to Bernie Williams. 5 and a 9. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Struck him out. 1 away. Here's Chili Davis. Nothing on the havoc roll. 2 and a 5, and that's just a bit outside ball 4. So first and second with 1 down, and they will not hold on either runner. Havoc roll, nothing on the 14. Here's Tino Martinez, who's homered at least once in this little series. 5 and a 2. Lefty fly ball to right field. Back goes Griffey. He will make the catch. O'Neill is looking to tag. He gets 2 for at the start. So 15. Griffey is a -1, so 14. 1 to 14, he makes it. 15 to 19, he holds. He's out on a 20. And he'll make it. So, staying at first is Davis. Two down. And here's Scott Brocious. Nothing on the Havoc roll. Two and a 9. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. So Zachary gets over some early nerves. Gives up 2 runs. And the Reds trail 2-0 as they come to bat in the bottom of the first. And left-hander Andy Pettitte, who Howie does not have a -5 hold for having one of the best pickoff moves of all time. It's beyond me, but here he is, the lefty. So the lineup for the Reds will be a little different. The only difference is that Ed Armbrister, who hits lefties a little better than Dan Dreesen, he will play designated hitter. Here's the lineup. Rose leading off and playing third base. Actually, just going to give you the lineup. Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. Perez, Foster, and Bench. Ed Armbrister gets the start for Dreesen, who doesn't hit lefties very well, or didn't hit lefties much at all. Geronimo and Concepcion. And here's the pitch to Geronimo. 1 and an 8 against the lefty. 1 to 6 home run chance. That's a 5. And whoops, sorry. Let's get Pete Rose at bat. Sorry, that's Geronimo. I got a little too excited. Okay, sorry. If that comes up again, then we know that's a home run chance for Geronimo. But Pete Rose strikes out. I caught myself there. Now it's Ken Griffey's chance. Oops, and that will not count because I need all the dice to go in at the same time. Two and a 9. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Joe Morgan. 3 and an 8. And he will draw a 2-out walk. Let's see here. They will hold him on. Pettitte's a -3. Posada's a -1, so -6. So he'd be 1 to 13 if he got a jump. And what the heck, they're going to try. 2 to 5 or 11 and 12. And that's a 9. That doesn't count, so he will hold, does not get a lead. And they will not try to use his second rating because it'd be like 1 to 7. All right, so here's Tony Perez. Havoc roll for Pettitte. Nothing on the 14. Three and an 8. Struck him out. And Pettitte strikes out the side. And after one complete, it's the Yankees 2, the Reds nothing. And Posada, Lede, and Knobloch do up here in the second. And here's the pitch to Jorge Posada. 6 and an 8. Batting left-handed. It's a fly ball to left field, and Foster puts it away. 1 down. Here's Ricky Lede. Two and an 8. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Zachry. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Chuck Knobloch, who started the first inning rally with a leadoff single. Oops, and that will not count. 2 and a 10. And that ball's grounded to third, and Rose gobbles it up. Throws over to Perez. 1-2-3 inning for the Yankees here in the second. And after an inning and a half, it's 2-0 Yankees. Foster, Bench, and Armbrister due up for the Reds in the second. Foster, Bench, Armbrister. All right, here's George Foster. Five. And there's a fly ball to center field. Bernie Williams camps under it. 1 away. Here's Johnny Bench. Another 5-5, another fly to center. 2 up, 2 down. Here's that Armbrister. One and a 5, and there's the first hit for the Reds. That's a single to right field. And they will hold Armbrister on, but he will not go anywhere. He'd be a 1-11. All right, Havoc roll for Pettitte. Nothing on the 9. Here's Concepcion. Oops. And that will not work. Three and a 4. Ballpark single. It's 1-7 for righties. That's an 11. So that's a... We'll go line drive to second. Actually, it's a line drive to short. Line drive to short. We'll say line drive to short. That will retire the side. 1 left on, 1 hit. After 2, 2-0 Yankees. And Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams do up. Jeter doubled his first time up. 6 and a 5. Shortstop chance. 19. Well, Concepcion makes any play. It's just whether he bobbles it or not. He is an E30. And that's a 4. That's not good. Bobbles and cannot make the play. In fact, he just eats it. Actually, no, he would make the play, but he throws it in the dirt and it pulls. The first baseman, Perez, keeps it in front of him, but Jeter reaches on the Concepcion error. And they will hold Jeter on. Be hit and run. No, Paul O'Neill is not up there to hit and run. Havoc roll for Zachry. Nothing on the 17. 2 and a 7. And that's high, ball 4. So just like the first inning, the Yankees get the first 2 on. And up comes Bernie Williams. Struck out his first time up. Nothing on the 9. Six and a 7. Switch hitter betting left-handed. Second base X. If I was holding Jeter on, I would probably consider holding them both on. So, oh boy. So left-handed hitter, runner on second. Shortstop would be holding. So Morgan keeps his 1 range. Okay, so 5 would be a G1 chance for a double play if they can turn it. Oh, wow. 17 and a 17. No, sorry. That's not a 7. That's 15. So that might be okay. But it is not. 17, there is a 15. And so the Reds get nothing on that play. Second error of the inning. Infield is now in. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 15. Here's Davis. One and a 10. Ballpark single. Left-handed 1-13. That's a 4. So that will little squibber goes into the outfield. Everybody moves up one base, and the Yankees now lead 3-0. And Sparky is getting the bullpen up. Jack Billingham and Pat Darcy are loosening in the bullpen. All right, here's Tino Martinez. Havoc roll, nothing on the 19. Six and a 7. Not holding anybody on. Didn't say. So 3, that's a second base X chance. Okay, we weren't holding anybody on, so he keeps it. That's a G2 chance. Infield in, so there is no 10 on a 17. So it's a 1 and a 3. So G2, bases loaded, infield in. So better safe. Wait a minute. So no, it's a lead runner. Okay. So Morgan gets it, throws home. They get O'Neill going home. Everybody else moves up one base on the fielder's choice. And Martinez reaches. 1 out. Infield remains in. Wait a minute. Hold on. If the infield was in, hold on a second. 1 and a 4 is a G2 pound. That would have been a base hit. My bad. So because the infield was in, that scores 2 runs. So my apologies. 2 runs will score. And runners on the corners, and that will be it for Pat Zachry. So first and third. I'm sorry, guys. So Jack Billingham will come into the game. Yeah, I'll show the chart. So it was a 1 and a 4. And with that pound sign, if the infield is playing in, that's a single 2-base advance. So my apologies. All right, so Billingham now comes into the game. Infield remains in. There are nobody out. Havoc roll for Billingham. Nothing on the 3. Five nothing Yankees. 1-3 against a righty. And the D20 is going the Yankees' way. 1-9 single chance. That's an 8. Another run will score. To second goes Martinez. And it is now 6-0 Yankees. And here's Jorge Posada. Nothing on the 7. And that's a 1-3 single chance. Ground ball to second. Morgan to Concepcion over to Perez. Double play. Martinez goes to third. However, there are 2 outs. That's big. And here's Ricky Leday. Pass ball or balk chance. That is a pass ball chance. 1-2. Not on the 10. All right, here's Leday. Six and an 8. Fly ball center field, and Geronimo makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Yankees send 8 men, get 4 runs, all but one of them are earned. And the Yankees lead 6-0. All right, Pettitte will face Concepcion, Rose, and Griffey here in the bottom of the 3rd. Three and an 8 against the lefty. Struck him out. And here is Pete Rose. Two and a 6, 1-2 double chance. 5, and Pete Rose will have his first hit of the game. He will not be held on, and he will not attempt to steal, with him being a 1-9, even if he didn't get the jump. Havoc roll for Pettitte. Nothing on the 3. Here's Griffey, struck out his first time up. 4 and a 8. Either side, that's a base hit for Griffey. First and third, no, 1 out. And the Yankees will play the infield back. They will not hold on anybody. Griffey would be a 1-14. You know what, with a... Now, if they'll hold him on, they will hold him on. Okay, here's Joe Morgan. 1-4 against the lefty. Line drive caught by the first baseman Martinez. And everybody gets back. Hit it right on, but right to Martinez. 2 down. And here is Tony Perez. Oh, Havoc roll first. Nothing on the 11. 6-10 against a radio. Just missed a home run chance. Struck him out. And that will retire the side. That could have been a biggie there, but just missed. That will retire the side. Through 3, 6-0 Yankees. And Billingham comes in for his second inning of work. Top of the order, Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill. Oops, and we will re-roll. .411 righty. That's a walk. And 6-0. They will. Oh, Billingham's a +1, so -2, -4. They will hold him on. Here's Derek Jeter. Nothing on the 9. One and a 6. And just gets past the diving shortstop Concepcion. Into second, he will hold there is Knobloch. And if this isn't a broken record, first 2 are on for the Yankees. They will hold all runners. Brings up Paul O'Neill. Nothing on the 3. Five and a 7 against the lefty. Well, this will help the Reds out a little bit. Billingham is not tired, so that's a ground ball to second. Repeat of the last inning. 4-6-3 double play. Going to third is Knobloch, but there are 2 outs. And here is Bernie Williams. Balk or pass ball chance. 2 would be a balk chance, but there is no balk, so we will continue. Williams reached on an error. 3-9, 1-8. That's a 4. So just past Joe Morgan's reach. In to score is Knobloch, and the Yankees have added the extra point. It's now 7-0 Yankees, and here's Chili Davis. 7 runs. They're not going to hold him on, and he won't go. Nothing on the Havoc roll. 6-2. Batting left-handed, it's a fly ball to shallow center, but Geronimo races in and makes the catch to retire the side. The Yankees add another and lead 7-0 going into the bottom of the 4th. Pettitte will face Foster, Bench, and Armbrister here in the bottom of the 4th. One and a 5. Struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Pettitte. And here is Johnny Bench. Flew out his first time up. 3 and a 5, and just a bit outside ball 4. Bench will not be held on, and he will not attempt to get a lead. So not holding on Bench. Here's Ed Armbrister, singled his first time up. Nothing on the 7. 5 and a 4 to center field. Williams, being a 1, will track that down. Williams is an E4. That's a 6. Oh boy. There is no 6. So Williams races back, still going back, and step on the warning track, he will make the catch. And going back to first is Johnny Bench. And bench will now, so they're still not holding bench on, but he will attempt to get a lead. They're gonna try about anything right now. So -3, -4. So bench, if he gets a 6, would be 1 to 15. And it doesn't matter because that was a 7. So oops. I almost bet these guys out of order in the first inning. All right, here's Cesar Geronimo. Doesn't matter now if I did or not, but oh well. Here's Geronimo. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 15. 4 and a 7. Switched, batting left-handed. Struck him out. Strikeout number 6, and that retires the side. And Billingham will be in his point of weakness as he is now pitching his 3rd inning of work. All right. Here's Tino Martinez. Top of the 5th, the Yankees leading 7-0. One and a 9. Ballpark blast. 1 to 6 for lefties. That's a 4. And Tino Martinez has just hit another home run. And Pat Darcy is ready, and they will not even wait for him to get fatigued. So in comes Pat Darcy. Eight nothing now, Yankees lead. Here's Scott Brocious. Five and a 7. And that's a walk. So Darcy walks Brocious. Here's one of the big 3. Jorge Posada. You got him, Jeter, and Andy Pettitte. They will not hold on Brocious. Balk or pass ball chance. No, a 3 would have been a balk, but Darcy does not have a balk. So oops. 3 and a 6. And that ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is out of here. So the 5th inning has now belonged to the Yankees. 3 more runs, and they have added the field goal, and is now 10-0 Giants. I mean, Yankees. And, I mean, Leday, if it's 10 runs, yeah, we'll let Leday get some at-bats. Two and a 4. 1 to 13 single. Of course, the Devil Die comes up at 12. And no Reds pitcher can get an out this inning so far. Here's Chuck Knobloch for the 4th time already. Singled, walk, and grounded out. Nothing on the 5. 6 and an 11. Ground ball pitcher X. Oh, 4 and a 2, and that's not going to go well either. Darcy is an E38, which might not make this much better. That's an 11, 38. And there is an 11, so single and an error. Runners advance 2 bases. So single moves them to second. Error moves them to third, so try to a nice dribbler up along the third base line. Bobbles and throws. Actually, that probably would have been a double error. Maybe that's another rare play that you could have for strats, a double error. Like a bobble and then a throw. All right, so second and third. Reds will play the infield in. They want to get outs. Here's Jeter. Nothing on the 10. 6 and an 11. Another pitcher chance. This one's a little better. 14 will at least be in range. But that E38, let's see if there's a 15. There certainly is. 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, and 18. So the only safe rolls are 7, 9, 14, and 17. And 3 and 4. So let's see. The 14 would have been a, what is he, a 4? 14. So G2, E1, which is just a better to first, runners advance 1 base. So another error by Darcy leads to another unearned run. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And Santo Alcala is getting the call of the bullpen. And here is Paul O'Neill. Nothing on the 19. Two and a 5, and the hits just keep on coming. Base hit. In from third is Knobloch. The third is Jeter. 5 in the inning. Now 12-0 Yankees. Might as well let him try to give up 5, and if he gives up 5, then we'll bring in Alcala. Nothing on the 15. Three and a 3. We'll just get him now. 1 to 5 single chance. That's an 1 to 8 single chance. That's a 5. Dribbles through. O'Neill to second. And that is 5 runs in the inning that, well, actually, he did not give up the first run. Actually, but he has given up 5. So Darcy does not have it. And here is Santo Alcala, or Alcala. I'm going to call him Alcala. Still nobody out. 9th man to bat in the inning. Here's Chili Davis, and at this point, I am not even going to bother with the Havoc roll. Actually, I might as well. Sorry, executive decision. I'll call it back. If there were zeros there, I'd avoid it, but nothing on the 7. And here's Chili Davis. 4 and a 6. Switch hitter batting left-handed, fly ball to center field. Back on it is Geronimo. He makes the catch. And sorry, there were runners on first and second, not first and third. So the first out of the inning, Alcala gets Chili Davis. And coming back is Tino Martinez. Havoc roll for Alcala, nothing on the 15. And we'll redo this one again. Four and a 6 against the lefty. Another fly ball to center field. Geronimo makes the catch, 2 down. Here's Scott Brocious, former Oakland A. Nothing on the 13. 2 and a 5, and that's a base hit to right field. And right now the Yankees will just play station to station. So bases loaded for Jorge Posada. Nothing on the 10. Six and an 11. Switch hitter batting left-handed, ground ball to second, and that will retire the side. And a Bronx cheer, ironically enough, coming from Reds fans. A touchdown in an inning. 6th spot, and the Yankees now lead 12-0. Concepcion, Rose, and Griffey do up here in the bottom of the 5th. That's a 1, 5, and a 7. And against a righty, that's a single to left field. Not holding on Concepcion. They will not steal down 12. Nothing on the 8. Here's Pete Rose. Rose 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Oops, and that did not all go through at the same time. Two and a 10. And that's ball 4, not the way you want to start off. Maybe Pettitte's a little cold. First 2 are on for the Reds. They will not hold any runners on, and they will not go. Here is Griffey. Nothing on the 3. Six and a 7. Lefty struck him out. Number 7 for Andy Pettitte. 1 away. He is not tired yet. It's only the 5th inning. Here's Joe Morgan. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 13. Six and a 10. Ballpark single. Lefties are 1 to 13. That's an 11. So the bases are loaded for Tony Perez. They'll play back 1. So 1 to 4. It's a wild pitch. Not on a 15. They'll play back. The Reds just won outs. 2 and a 10. Weekly hit ground ball. Charging in from second is Knobloch. He'll get the sure out at first. Scoring from third is Concepcion, and everybody else moves up a base. As Tony Perez, RBI ground out, spoils the shutout bid. And it is now 12-1, 2 outs, runners on second and third. And up comes George Foster. Nothing on the 19. Three and an 8. And that ball is popped up left side of the infield. Third baseman Brocious calls for it and makes the catch. Now, that is not a hit. Because there are runners in scoring position with 2 outs, that becomes an anti-clutch. So that's an out, not a hit, and Pettitte gets out of the inning. The Reds do get a run, but still trail 12-1. All right, and Alcala will come out for his second inning. He got the 3 outs in the 5th inning. They need him to do yeoman's work. And we'll make changes in the 7th inning potentially. Here's Ricky Leday. 5 and a 4. Third base X. Rose, a 3 and an 8. He will make the play. Oh boy. 14 and a 14 should be okay. No, it is not. Wow. 3, 4, 14, and 15. And the Reds' defensive woes continue. 4th error of the ball game, 2nd on Rose. Or no, 1st on Rose. Rose has 1. Concepcion has 1. This might be the 3rd error. Sorry, 3rd error of the game. And Darcy had 1. So Leday reaches on an error. And here is Chuck Knobloch. Havoc roll for Alcala. Nothing on the 15. And 3 and a 4. Against a righty. That's an 18. So that's... Oh, actually, no, 3-4, not 3-3. 3-4. Base hit to center field. And we'll play station to station here. And Derek Jeter. Balker pass ball chance. That's a pass ball. 1-2. Not on an 11. 1 and an 8. And that's a base hit up the middle. And Knobloch will go to 3rd. Well, actually, no, there have been runners on 1st and 2nd, sorry. That's a single, 2 stars. So that's another run for the Yankees. So runners on the corners, as it is now 13-1. And Paul O'Neill will be due up here. Infield to come in. Three and a 12. 1-9, and that's a 6. Another run comes in. And second touchdown for the Giants. It's now 14-1. I guess we were sort of playing Canadian football rules, so they got the 1-point single. Actually, we'll start taking players out now. All right, so pinch hitting for Bernie Williams will be will be Chad Curtis. All right. Actually, there are nobody out. Error, single, single, single. There are nobody out. Here's Chad Curtis stepping up. Nothing on the 4. Five and an 8. And that is down the right field line and into the corner, or down left field line, excuse me, into the corner. Scoring from second is Jeter. The third is O'Neill. We will not try to roll for any extra bases. 15-1, and Will McEnany try to come on. Will come on as... Actually, no, we're going to play him until he gives up 5 runs. That's how we're going to do it now. He has given up 3 this inning. Second and third. And Chili Davis will also be pinch hit for. Darryl Strawberry will come in and pinch hit for Chili Davis. All right, Havoc roll for Alcala. Nothing on the 19. Six against the lefty. Draws a walk. And here is Tino Martinez. Nothing on the Havoc roll. Infield will play in. Oops, and that doesn't count. Four and a 4. Shortstop. Because we're playing the infield in, that will be a single. Because while Concepcion is a 1, the 3 has the pound sign on it, so that's a single 2 stars. 30 and a 12. And for the 4th time, and the Reds doing their best Michael Jackson impersonation, wearing a glove on one hand for no apparent reason. Single 2 stars with an error. Single and an error. Better. The second, runners advance 2 bases. So we'll say O'Neill scores on the single. So it goes to third and then scores on the error. So second and third. And that will be all for 5 runs for Alcala. Here comes Will McEnany. And I should... Okay, he did not pitch the last game, so he will have to go a distance. All right. So McEnany now in the game as Alcala could not get anybody out his second inning of work. Infield now will play back. 17-1. Nothing on the 10. Sorry, Scott Brocious now due up. Five and a 9. Shortstop chance. That's good for Concepcion. Let's see if you can avoid the error on the E30. 1 and an 8 is a G1, but there's second and third. 30 and a 7. No, there is no 7. So a G1 with runners on second and third is a runner advanced. So batter is out and all runners advanced. So batter is out. Another run scores. The third goes Martinez. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Jorge Posada. Joe Girardi will come in and catch. Now, I made the mistake of not using him in the game that David Cone pitches. He was usually David Cone's personal catcher, so if Cone gets another chance to pitch, we will use Girardi as his catcher. Okay, so Posada will be pinch hit for. He is the 9th man to bat in the inning. The Reds are probably going to, or the Yankees will probably empty the bench here. Or come close to it. All right. Havoc roll, there's 1 out. Runner on third only. Nothing on the 14. Five and a 6 against a righty. 1-6. It's a ground ball to third. He looks the runner back and throws to first. And that retires Girardi. 2 down. And Ricky Leday will be pinch hit for. Tim the Rock Raines will come in and play left field. Leday was 1 for 2 he scored 2 runs. Nothing on the 4. Two and a 2. And against the lefty, he struck him out. So Raines strikes out to end the inning, and that will retire the second side. Another 6-run inning, so back-to-back 6-run innings. 13. So 19-1. And they'll go ahead and make the final change that they can make. Derek Jeter is going to be replaced by Luis Sojo. So Sojo is an 3E21, and I'll guarantee one of these current plays will hit their spot. And the Reds will probably empty the bench here too. But we're going to give them 3 at-bats first, I think. So we shall see. Pettitte, after another long layoff, starts the bottom of the 6th. Yeah, I know this game's going to last a while, so I'll try to speed through the rest of this. Bench walk and a flyout. 1-5 against the lefty. Not so fast. Into the gap, and that's a double for bench. Not holding him on, not going anywhere. Nothing on the 19. Here's Armbrister, singled and fly out in 2 appearances. 2 and a 5. Struck him out. Number 8 for Pettitte. Here's Geronimo. Nothing on the Havoc roll. 3 and an 8. Struck him out. Strikeout number 9. Here's Concepcion. Nothing on the 18. 1 and a 7. And because another hit taken away because of the clutch. That would normally be a single, but that Omega makes it an anti-clutch. So let's pump up to the shortstop. And Luis Sojo makes the catch, and that retires the side. Okay. All right. All right. So McEnany will stay on for another inning. This is his point of weakness. Knobloch, Sojo, and O'Neill due up here in the top of the 7th. All right. Here's McEnany. 4-12 against a righty. And wow, that drops in for a hit. 1-2, and that's a 1. And they will not hold him on. He will not be going anywhere. Here's Luis Sojo. Nothing on the 5. Four and a 7, righty. Base hit. Runner goes to third. And this may be the first Stratomatic game that I might get to 20. Here's Paul O'Neill. I don't have any other bench players I could bring in, so O'Neill must hit. Infield back. And if McEnany gives up another hit or walk, he will be tired. 4 and an 8. Yep, another base hit, and there's 20. And Eastwick is now considered tired. I guess I could let him hit one of his tired rolls to see if he wants to. Here's Chad Curtis. Nothing on the Havoc. And that will not count. Two and an 11. Against the lefty, ballpark single. 16 is too high. Line drive to the shortstop. One away. Okay, he's not hit a dot yet. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Nothing on the 6. Walked his first time up. 6 and a 10 against the lefty. Ground ball to second. The second to get 1. The relay throw is not in time. So reaching on the fielder's choice and scoring the... Now the 21st run is Jeter. Two down. Here's Tino Martinez. Nothing on the 19. 5 and a 2. Fly ball to right field, and that will retire the side. 2 more runs for the Yankees. 21-1 is your score. And Raleigh Eastwick is loosening in the bullpen. He will come into the game in the 8th. We may have a position player. No, we have enough to have one that will pitch in back-to-back days. All right, so Pettitte, this is his point of weakness inning. And we will have pinch hitters coming in now. Doug Flynn will come in and bat for Pete Rose. Flynn is a 2E12. So he could have been used for defensive replacement. All right, Rose went 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's Flynn to face Pettitte. Went through the order, the 4th time through the order. 5 and a 9. Shortstop chance. Is Jeter a 1? Yes, he is. Spectacular play by Jeter. 10 and an 8. And that is a great play by Jeter. Gets up, throws out Flynn. 1 away. And I'm sorry that I did not sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I just want to get this game done with. Here's Ken Griffey. Let's see, I want a righty batter. So we're going to have Bob Bailey pinch hit for right fielder. Hold on, no, Bailey's not going to bat for Griffey. Right fielder. All right, so I could go Joel Young. I'm not going to go Youngblood. Mike Lum will pinch hit for Griffey. He is a 2, -1, E1, runs at a 12. So Mike Lum will pinch hit for Ken Griffey. All right, so All right. I know he doesn't hit well against lefties, but I didn't need to. 6 and 11 still struck him out, and that's the 10th strikeout for Pettitte. Here's Joe Morgan. Leave him in the game. 0 for 2, or sorry, 1 for 2 with a walk. 5 and a 9. Shortstop chance. That's if you're defensive. That's where you want it to hit. Jeter. 7. Makes the play and retires the side. Essentially, Pettitte can go as long as he's not tired. And Raleigh Eastwick will come on. He is fresh. So only the two pitchers who pitched the previous game, Sarmiento and Bourbon, are left in the bullpen. So try to see if Eastwick can't pitch the final 2 innings. 5th reliever. Barocious, Girardi, and Raines due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Six and a 4. Right-hander, ground ball to third. And Doug Flynn takes care of that. 1 away, of course. One of these has got to be hit to Mike Lum in right field. Here's Girardi. 1 and a 10. Righty, bouncer to short. And Concepcion. I always get him and Geronimo mixed up. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Tim Raines. Struck out his first time up. 2 and an 11. Bouncer to the third. And for only the second time this game, the Yankees are held scoreless. Bottom of the 8th. Let's see here. Dan Dreesen will... No, he will not. Yeah, what the heck. We'll let Dreesen pinch hit for Tony Perez. So Dan Dreesen will hit for Tony Perez. Yes, he does not hit lefties very well, but okay. All right, so here's Dan Dreesen. Bottom of the 8th. 3-10 draws a walk. And I think we'll just do the row of pinch hitters here. Pinch hitting for Foster is Bob Bailey. He will take over in left field. Nothing on the 5 for the Havoc roll. 3, and a 6. And that ball is driven in the gap. Dreesen actually runs at a 15. Not being held on makes him a 16. And that's the center field. Curtis is a -1. So 1 to 15, they won't even bother with the throw. Scoring from second is Dreesen. RBI pinch hit double for Bailey. And pinch hitting for Johnny Bench is Bill Plummer. And let's see, we have righty, lefty. Let's see here. And I want the specialist. So Jeff Nelson is loosening in the bullpen. All right, and here's Plummer, Havoc roll. Oh, that's a double. Nothing on the Havoc roll. 312. Struck him out. Number 11 for Pettitte. Here's Armbrister. Nothing on the Havoc roll. 1 away. 4 and a 6. Not tired. Struck him out. Number 12. And here is Geronimo. 1 to 4. Wild pitch. Nothing on the 15. 5 and a 6 against the lefty. 1 to 6 single chance, 1 to 11 single chance. That's a 6. But going to third is Bailey, and that will be it for Pettitte. He's considered tired, and Jeff Nelson will come into the game. First and third, 2 down. He is responsible for the 2 runners on base. He's given up 2 runs now in 7 2/3 innings. Havoc roll for Concepcion. Nothing on the 20. 2 and a 3 against a righty. 1 to 15. That's a single. That's a 5. And that will score Foster from third. Oh, no, sorry, that'll score Bailey from third. My bad. And it is now 21 to 3. And here's Doug Flynn getting a second at bat. Not holding any runners on. Nothing on the 5. 1 and a 6. Ground ball to short, and that retires the side. Reds get 2 back. And they trail 21 to 3. And Eastwick, who had a 1-2-3 inning, will try to end the game. And up for the 7th time is Chuck Knobloch. He is 4 for 5 with a walk and scored 5 times. All right, here's Knobloch. Six and a 4. Ground ball to third. And let's see, that is Doug Flynn. Retires Knobloch 1 away. There's Luis Sojo, singled his last time up. Six and a 3. Ballpark single. 16 is too high. So line drive to the shortstop. 2 down. And here's Paul O'Neill. O'Neill has 4 hits in 5 official at-bats. He has scored 1 run. 3 and a 9, struck him out. So Raleigh Eastwick, your Reds pitcher of the day, 2 scoreless innings. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Nelson will stay on. Reds will need a miracle. All right, Lum, Morgan, and Dreesen due up here in the bottom of the 9th. Four and a 3, lefty pitcher X. 318, that should be good enough. Nelson's an E0, so it's not going to matter. Yeah, he's in range. Gets off the mound, fields it, throws to first, 1 away. Here's Joe Morgan. 5 and a 5. Struck him out. Last hope is Dan Dreesen. 1 and an 8. Ground ball to first. Martinez steps on the bag. And that's your ball game. 21-3 is your final. I'll be right back with the line score. All right, messy details here. 21 runs on 23 hits and 1 error for the Yankees. 3 runs, 9 hits, and 4 errors. Sound a lot like the Little League game. But it is what it is. Andy Pettitte goes 7 1/3, giving up 3 earned runs, striking out 12, gets the win. Pat Zachry didn't even last he got through 2 innings, and that was it. He will take the loss. All right, so Game 5, the chance for the clinching will be back to the Game 1 starters. David Wells for the Yankees and Don Gullett for the Reds. All right, everybody, thank you for staying with this game for the length of it. Sorry I didn't have any good stories to tell or anything like that, but these blowouts can and do happen. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please leave a like. If you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of any new videos. And whatever game you are playing, please enjoy it to your fullest. Have a good day, everybody.